Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Good evening, all. Okay. Yes. Good evening. Okay. Yeah. Today, 10th of February. As I told last day, we have very limited time, but our workload is huge. It's a bulk work we have within this limited time. Okay. Therefore, without taking time, let's go to the work. Okay, today I hope to start coordinate geometry. That we already discussed. That's a important lesson in exam. That's why we doing again. I hope to discuss first part of the lesson and the second part of the lesson in next day. After that, to discuss papers and all questions in the coordinate geometry lesson. Okay, it's a small lesson, but that is very important. That's a normally we have only 5 maths lessons. We have only 5 maths lessons. Among them, area volume, trigonometry, and Pythagoras theorem. They are basic mathematics, simple maths lessons. But additionally, extra complex, little bit advanced maths lessons are coordinate geometry and finally statistic. Okay, after we recap, after we refresh about coordinate geometry lesson, we can move into our next lesson, statistic, our main lesson. Okay, I hope to discuss after this week. I hope to, after complete coordinate geometry, I hope to get our Sunday time. Sunday, our 2 hour into theory discussions. I think it will be very useful to complete our syllabus, complete our lessons as soon as possible. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's move into lesson coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Okay, actually, this lesson don't have more theories. It's only concept you want to learn, and after that we can do calculations. Okay, it's a very simple and very interesting lesson. Okay, it's a full calculation. I will explain the concept, then we can practice. Okay, coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Okay. In coordinate geometry, what we discussed in the coordinate geometry, what's the meaning of the coordinate geometry? In coordinate geometry, we mainly discussed about functions. We mainly discussed about functions. Okay, what's the meaning of functions? What are the functions? Dihin, what are the functions? Tanya, what are the meaning of functions? In coordinate geometry, we mainly discussed about functions. Now, what's the meaning of functions? Functions in mathematics. What are the meaning of functions? Yes, very good, Fatima. Functions mean something relationships. Something relationships. relationship between two or more factors. That's the meaning of functions. Okay, functions in this lesson, according to our syllabus, we can classify it into two categories. Can classify it into two categories. We can classify it functions into two categories. The first one, unit functions. Yes, very good, Tanya. This is the definition. Okay, functions, we can classify it into two. Not only two, mainly trigonometric functions, and there are so many functions. But in this lesson, we mainly discussed about two functions. The first one, unit functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions. Okay, functions mean relationship between two or more factors. Okay, it's two types, unit functions and quadratic functions. Okay, what's the meaning of unit functions? Unit functions mean the relationship between the relationship of the x and y axis of the Cartesian plane about straight lines. Straight lines relationship that we discussed on the unit functions. Unit functions. Okay, then what's the meaning? Quadratic functions. Quadratic functions mean the relationship between x and y axis on the Cartesian plane about parabolic functions or parabolic shape functions like this. Okay, that's the main difference. That's the main difference. And the unit functions we mainly discussed about straight lines, and the quadratic functions we mainly discussed about parabolic shapes. Parabolic shapes like this. Understood? In unit functions we mainly discussed about what? Straight lines. In quadratic functions we mainly discussed about what? Parabolic shapes like this. Understood up to now? Okay, that's just like a story. Simple story. Okay. 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 What's the meaning of quadratic functions? Quadratic functions mean unit functions that we discuss relationship of straight line on the Cartesian plane. In quadratic functions, we discuss parabolic shape graph on the Cartesian plane. Relationship of parabolic shape graph on the Cartesian plane. Parabolic shape graph on the Cartesian plane. Okay, that's the main difference. That's the main difference. Okay, I will summarize what we discussed in this lesson. I will summarize. Give me a second. Okay. Functions. unit functions, and quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Okay, that's the main two types. And the unit functions we mainly discussed about, we're starting from Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. The first one, Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Then we can discuss Cartesian plane, the distance between two points on Cartesian plane. Distance between 2 points, or length of straight line. In short form, length of straight line. The length of straight line. The length of straight line is L means straight line. The length of straight line. That's our second topic. Okay, third topic. Topic 3. The midpoint coordinates. The midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates of straight line. Midpoint coordinates of straight line. Midpoint coordinates of straight line. Fourth topic, ratio point coordinates of straight line. Ratio point coordinates of straight lines. Okay, I will one by one I will explain, then we can practice. Finally we can go to exam question discussions. Okay, the next topic, the equation of straight line. The equation of straight line. How to calculate gradient, how to calculate intercept. Finally, if you have equation, how to draw the straight line. If you have straight line, how to find the equation. Everything we can discuss under this part. The equation of straight line. The final subtopic, couple of straight line. Couple of straight lines. Okay, that's a summary of unit functions. In quadratic functions, what we discussed. Quadratic function very, very important. Within next week, today I hope to discuss unit functions, and next week I hope to discuss full quadratic function. That's the most important lesson. Actually, unit functions very simple. If you have basic knowledge, unit functions easily you can understand. Quadratic functions little bit challenging, little bit advanced. A to Z I will explain in next week. Okay. Quadratic functions. In quadratic functions, our first topic, quadratic equations. Quadratic equations. Quadratic equations. Next topic, turning points coordinate. Turning points coordinates. That means parabolic shape, turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Maximum and minimum quadratic functions. Sorry. maximum minimum quadratic functions. Maximum minimum quadratic functions. Next, turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates mean it's a parabolic shape. No, this parabolic shape turning point. What is the x and y coordinates? That's the meaning of turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Finally, quadratic equations done. Maximum minimum quadratic functions done. Turning point coordinates done. Finally, we have find the sketch the shape of any quadratic function. Sketch the shape of any quadratic function. Sketch the shape of any quadratic function. Okay, that's the summary. They are the subtopic of unit functions in left side. They are the subtopic of quadratic functions in right side. Okay. That's the summary. Okay, let's start unit functions. Next week we can discuss about quadratic functions, fully details about quadratic functions A to Z. Today I hope to discuss A to Z unit functions. Okay, ada api ivara karamu. Unit functions. Okay, in unit functions we mainly discussed about what? Relationship of straight lines on a Cartesian plane. Relationship of straight lines on a Cartesian plane. Okay, before discussed about relationship of Cartesian plane, relationships on Cartesian plane, first of all, you have to understand what's the meaning of the Cartesian plane. Okay, what's the meaning of the Cartesian plane that you already know? Okay, that's the Cartesian plane. That's the Cartesian plane. That we called as x-axis. This is the y-axis. The horizontal level is the x-axis. The vertical side is a y-axis. Okay, now the horizontal level, right side, that we called as positive side. Positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, positive 5, positive 6. It's continuing. Horizontal level, left side, that we called as x-axis, negative direction. This is the x-axis positive direction. This is the x-axis negative direction. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, this is the x-axis positive direction and x-axis negative direction. Okay, in vertical axis, y-axis, above part, that we called as y-axis positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and continue. The remain the vertical axis downside, this below side, that we called as the y-axis negative direction. Y-axis negative side. -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, understood? That we called as the 2D structure of x and y axes, that we called as a Cartesian plane. Understood up to now? Send message. Joel? Okay. Okay, how about the value of this cutting point? How about the value of this cutting point? Prehlan, what's the value of the x and y axis cutting point on the Cartesian plane? What's the value? Prehlan? X and y axis cutting point. No, no, cutting point I asked. This x and y axis cutting point. Yeah, what's the name of this? Yeah, it's definitely 0 because both axes starting from this point. 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, minus 1, minus 2. That's a starting point. What's the name of this point? We call this point is in a special name. What's the name? Habib? No, no, Rehlan, wrong. Yes, there is an initial point. That's the initial 0. Initial point. Initial point. Initial point. Fatima, this is not the intercept. This is not the intercept. At this point, intercept 0. No intercept here. මේකට අපි intercept කියන්නේ නැහැ. Understood, Fatima? We not going to call this point intercept. At this point, intercept 0. Intercept 0, that's why we called as initial point. Initial point, the 0 point. Okay, now again tell me, again summarize the part that we discussed up to now. Okay, in unit functions, what we discussed in unit functions, we mainly discussed about the relationship of straight lines on a Cartesian plane. Okay, the relationship of straight line on Cartesian plane. Okay, what's the meaning of Cartesian plane? Cartesian plane means 2D shape with x and y axis. Okay, this is a Cartesian plane. This is x-axis positive direction, x-axis negative direction, y-axis positive direction, y-axis negative direction. Both axes cutting point. This is a 0 point and this is a initial point is the name of this. This is the initial point. Now, if I mark a point on this Cartesian plane that we called as coordinates. Sorry, that's a point on Cartesian plane. If you got the x and y values on this point, may point relevant x and y values, if you got in respectively in order, x value and y value, that we called as what? They are coordinates. As example, the coordinate of this A point, think it is A point. A point coordinates are -2, +2. X value by y value. This is the order. This order very important. The A point coordinates -2, +2. -2, +2 mean always X coordinate value, y value. That is the order. That's the order. Okay, now tell me, what is the coordinate of B point? It's 2. Very good. X value first. 2, -3. Good. 2, -3. 2, -3. 2, -3. Okay. How about the A point coordinates? A point coordinates was -2, 2. B point coordinates 2, -3. Okay, if I draw a straight line between these 2 points, A to B. Okay, that we called as AB straight line. Now this point A, this straight line called as AB straight line. Okay, can you get the length of this straight line? Can you calculate the length of this straight line? Okay, how to get the length of this straight line? Okay, what's the method you can use? What's the method you can use? Joel, what's the method we can use to get the length of this straight line? Make it digo hai na apne mukad use karan pula. What's the concept we can use? Tanya? Yes, we can use Pythagoras theorem, no? We can use Pythagoras theorem. I think this is a right angle triangle. This is a right angle triangle. Okay, try to understand the full story. I'm explaining the full story. This lesson as a story actually. This unit function part, quadratic function part, it's just a story. Okay, clearly understand the story, then you can manage any question of quadratic or unit functions. Okay, try to get maximum about those relationships. Okay, I told this lesson based on relationship. මේ හැම එකකම relationship එකක් තියෙනවා. Everything has a relationship bit of this lesson. Okay, I think now I want AB. Then what I can do? I can get the length of this part and length of this side. Okay, I want AB, then AB squared equal how about the length of this side? මෙතන 0 to -3 parts, right? 0 to -3 parts. 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 0 minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, it's 3. And up to 2, it is 5 squared. 5 squared. 5 squared. Plus Pythagoras theorem, okay. What is the length of this? Minus 2 to plus 2, it is 4. 4, 4, 4, 4 squared. Okay. Now 5 squared is 25. 4 squared 16. This is a AB squared. Okay, but I want AB, right? AB equal 25 plus 16. What is the value? 25 plus 15, 40, 41. No? 41 square root is the AB. AB equal 41 square root. AB equal 41 square root is the AB. Okay, understood? What is there now? Tanya? Rehlan? Sarmya? Okay, but it is very complex. This is a method. Okay, this is a method. Get the remain two side square that is equal to the hypotenuse square. That's the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, make a method. But for length calculation, it's a very advanced and very difficult method. No, if you got a straight line, you have to draw on this Cartesian plane. But without drawing on a Cartesian plane, you can't get the length. But according to this method, if I got equation like this, if I got AB equal, the same method, AB equal x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1 square root. Okay, see now okay, let's get the value for this. X2 minus x1. X2 minus x1 mean 2 minus minus 2. 2 minus minus 2. What is the value? 2 minus minus 2. 2 minus minus 2. It is plus 4. No? 2 minus minus 2. 2 minus minus 2. Sorry, it should have square. Okay, 2 minus minus 2 square plus, okay, the same thing, this 4 square. Y2 minus y1. Y2 minus y1 mean minus 3. You have to follow same side. Mea x2 na. Mea tama y2. Minus 3 minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2 squared. Minus 3 minus 2 squared square root. See, AB equal 2 minus minus 2, it is 4. 4 squared plus 4 squared plus minus 3 minus 2. What is the value? Minus 5. Minus 5 squared. Minus 5 squared 25. 4 minus 16. Sorry, 4 squared 16 minus 5 squared 25. Okay, see the same answer coming. 45 square root. Not 45, 41 square root. 41 square root. 41 square root. Okay, now this is a method. This is a method. According to this method, I got equation. This is the equation. AB equal x2 minus x1. That means x difference squared. Y2 minus y1. Y difference squared. The full square root. Clear? According to this method, I got make up it's I got this equation according to this Pythagoras theorem. Hari? Amina? Clear? Joel? Okay. Now, according to the Pythagoras theorem on a straight line, the Pythagoras theorem of a straight line on a Cartesian plane, we can get equation for the length of the straight line. Length of straight line. The length of straight line. Length of straight line. Okay, what is the equation? AB mean any straight line. AB equal x2 minus x1. X2 minus x1 mean x coordinate difference. X coordinate difference. X coordinate difference squared plus y coordinate difference. Y coordinate difference mean y2 minus y1. Y2 minus y1 squared. Full square root. Full square root. Full square root. Okay, question number 1. Question number 1. Pehlan understood? Okay, let's calculate the length of AB straight line. Quickly calculate the length of AB straight line. Okay, what's the length? Okay, quickly calculate. Prehlan, what's the length? Very simple. Just substitute to the equation. Okay, what's the answer? Amina, what's the answer? Okay, how to calculate AB? AB, I want the length of AB, x2 minus x1. How to get 4 minus, according to above equation, 4 minus, think this is the x1. Then it is easy. x1, y1, x2, y2. Now you can easily get values. 4 minus minus 8. Minus 8. 4 minus minus 8. Important. Eh? Squared plus minus 1 y2 minus y1 minus 1 minus 3 squared square root squared square root. Now 4 minus minus, it's come to plus, convert to plus, then 4 plus 8, 12 squared 144 plus minus 3 minus, sorry, minus 1 minus 3 mean minus 4, minus 4 squared plus 60 square root yeah, 4 plus 6 0 6 1 160 square root. 160 square root mean what is the value? 12 point value. 12.64 12.64 units. You have to mention the unit. If you don't have specific unit, that's why we mention it is a unit. On Cartesian plane, it's units. 12.64 units. This is the answer. Without units, you are wrong. 12.64 units. Unit mean in Cartesian plane, this one distance we called as unit. මෙන්න මේකක් තමයි units කියන්නේ. මේ වගේ 12 point, the answer 12.64. How many distance? මේ unit seva 12.64 distance. That's the length of this straight line. Understood? Rehlan? Sarmya? Clear? Hari. Let's do another question. Question number 2. Okay, try to practice, try to catch this within this question, because we have very limited time. We have to discuss full unit functions today. Okay, think it is PQ. PQ, P point coordinates, 2, comma, minus 12. Q point coordinates minus 8, comma, minus 6. Okay, quickly calculate the length of PQ straight line. Okay, could you get this, Fatima? Yes. Hi. Okay, what I need to calculate the PQ distance. PQ distance. The same equation, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared full square root. Okay, now don't need the equation, but I write for your reference. Squared plus y2 minus y1 squared square root. X2 minus x1 minus 8 minus 8 minus 2 square plus minus 6 minus, that's very important, minus 6 minus minus 12 square root. Minus 8 minus 2, it is minus 10. Minus 10 squared 100 plus minus 6 minus minus 12 mean minus minus convert into plus. Then minus 6 plus 12, it is plus 6. Plus 6 is squared 36. 36. Okay, now 136 square root. Okay, this multiplication, this simplifications. If you difficult, you can use calculator only for difficult question, difficult parts. Don't type a full question in calculator. It take more time. It will take more time. Only use calculator for difficult parts. Okay, 136 square root, 11.66 units. 11.66 units. Okay, any doubt? Rehlan, any doubt? Okay. Salmia, any doubt? Okay, final question of length of straight line. Final question. The length of QR, the length of QR line, 10 units. Calculate the Q point Y coordinates. Q point Y coordinate I need. Okay, take 1 minute for this calculation. Sorry, it's converted into 20 units. Okay. Calculate it. That's a good question. Okay. Let's start. Okay, how to calculate? First, the length PQ 20. 20 squared equal, or 20 equal, yeah, let's see. 20 squared equal 2 minus 2. That means x2 minus x1. 2 minus, so 8 minus 2. Minus 2 squared plus minus 2 minus y. Minus 2 minus y squared. Okay, now all squared, no need square root, because 20 square root I use. If you use 20, we have to use square root. Okay, now 20 square root 400. 400 equal 8 minus 2 means plus. Then 8 plus 2, it is 100. 100 plus minus 2 minus y square. Okay. Now, if you got this part, මෙයාගේ value කීයද? What is the value of this part? Kabir, what is the value of this? Minus 2 minus y squared. What's the value? Fatima, what is the value of this part? Minus 2 minus y squared, what is the value? It's 300, because 100 you can get into this part, this side, then 300 equal minus 2 minus y squared. Okay, if it is minus 2 minus y squared, if you solve this minus 2 minus y squared, it will be very complex. Therefore, I'm going to get both side square root. Both side square root. Both side square root. Okay, then I can remove this square mark. Square mark. Then 300 square root. 300 square root equal minus 2 minus y. Okay, 300 square root equal minus 2 minus y. Okay, what is the 300 square root? 10 root 3, no? (17.32). 17.32 equal minus 2 minus y. Okay, now, oh sorry, minus 2 get into this direction. Minus 2 get into this direction, it's converted into plus, then 19.32 equal to minus y. 19.32 equal to minus y, but I need y value, then y value both sides multiplied by minus, then y equal minus 19.32. Good. Kabir, correct. Very good. No, Kabir. Your previous one correct, right? Yeah, what's the 17.32 mean 300 square root. Okay. Yes, very good. Joel, understood? Okay, quickly note down. Okay, Fatima, good, clear. Okay. Sarmia, Amina, I clear everything up to now. Okay, let's move into our second topic in the syllabus. What's the second topic? The midpoint coordinates of any straight line. Okay, now we have straight line. I want to get the midpoint. What's the meaning of midpoint coordinates? Midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates. Okay, how to calculate the midpoint coordinates now? Okay, now if you got any straight line, think this is a straight line. A and B straight line. A coordinates 8, 12. B coordinates 6, 4. Okay, I want the midpoint coordinates mean the point where cut into equal two parts. The coordinates of the point where the coordinates of the point where it is the straight line cut into equal two parts. Okay, that means midpoint. මෙතන මැදම මේක දෙකට හරියටම වෙන් වෙන point එකේ coordinates. Okay, how to calculate midpoint coordinates? Okay, very simple. We have very simple equation, same as length calculation equation. Okay, I want think the midpoint center point C. Okay, center point coordinates. Very simple. x2 plus x1 now, not minus, x2 plus x1, comma, divide by 2, comma, y2 plus y1 divide by 2. Okay, that's a simple equation. Previously, for length calculation, we got the difference between x coordinate. For midpoint calculation, please remember, always get the summation at x2 plus x1, x1 plus x2 in both directions same. Okay. Hari, අපි හදලා බලමු. x2 plus x1, 6 plus 8. These are x coordinate. These are another next second x coordinate. 6 plus 8, 14 plus 12 plus 4, 16. Divide by 2. Sorry. 14 divided by 2, comma, y2 plus y1. That means 12 plus 4 divide by 2. මෙතන එන්නේ 6 plus 4 divide by 2. Okay, now we can get the answer. 6 plus 4, 6 plus 8, sorry. 6 plus 8 mean 2x coordinate. 6 plus 8 or 8 plus 6, both correct. 12 plus 4, 2y coordinates, add and divide by 2. That's how get the midpoint coordinates. 14 over 2, 7 minus, comma, 12 plus 4, 16. This is the answer. 7, comma 8. Understood? Okay. That is a midpoint coordinate calculation method. Complete? Okay, let's move into next question. Midpoint coordinates. P and Q. Remember midpoint R. P point coordinates 4, minus 8. Q point coordinates minus 2, 12. Quickly get the midpoint coordinate. That means R coordinates. R coordinates. Okay, what are the coordinates? Good, Rehla. Okay, how to calculate? It's very simple. No need the steps. -2 plus. Without calculation, you can get -2 plus 4. -2 plus 4. Divide by 2. -2 plus 4. It is plus 2. Plus 2 over 2, 1. Comma. That is x coordinate of the midpoint. 12 plus -8. 12 plus -8. Okay, what's the difference? 4. Divide by 2. It is 2. Very good. 1, comma 2 is the midpoint coordinates. 1.2 is the midpoint coordinates. Okay, it's simple, right? Sarmia? Done, right? Okay, let's do only one question. Q, R, the midpoint is S. Midpoint is S. Now midpoint coordinates 5, 3. R coordinates -8, -3. Okay, can you calculate the Q point coordinates? Yeah, that was exam question. Can you calculate the Q point coordinates? The R coordinate is given. And midpoint coordinates are given. That was exam question. Others, what is the answer? Good. Okay, how to calculate? Now, if you got the midpoint coordinates, you can get this value x and y. Q point x and y coordinate required. Q point x and y coordinate required. Okay, how to calculate? How to calculate? Okay, if you got -8, that means x2 -8 plus x value divided by 2, what is the answer? Answer should be midpoint x value, it's 5. Then cross multiplication 10. 10 equal -8 plus x. What is my requirement? To get the x value, then isolate the x. -8, get into this side, it's converted into +8. X equal 18. Very simple, x equal 18. X equal 18. X equal 18. Okay, same method. Same method. Same method. Same method. For y readings, -3 plus y over 2 equal the midpoint y value 3. Then 3 into 2, it is 6. 6 equal -3 plus y. Then -3 get into this side, it is 9. Y equal 9. Then 9 coordinates, sorry, y coordinate is 9. Y coordinate is 9. Tanya, understood? Any doubt up to now you can ask. Okay, now we are in the middle of, we have complete 40% of the unit functions. This is a very simple lesson. Joel, understood? හරි. අපි යන් next question. Okay, that's the final question of midpoint coordinate parts. That's another form. This is E, F. The G is the midpoint. E point 5 Y X minus 8. 2, 6. Can you calculate the E point Y coordinate and F point X coordinate? Okay, simple question, same as previous. The G is the midpoint of this straight line. EF is straight line. Okay. The G is the midpoint of EF is straight line. Then calculate the G point coordinate 2, 6. Then calculate the E point Y coordinate and F point X coordinate. Okay, what are the answers? Now don't take time, because in exam for this type question you have only 1.5 minutes. Now time enough. Okay. G point coordinates are given, right? Then you can say x plus 5 over 2. The summation of x coordinate divided by 2. Okay, let's see. That answer equal to 2. Then 2 into 2, 4, cross multiplication equal x plus 5. X plus 5. Now x coordinate equal, that means f point x coordinate equal 4 minus 5. That means minus 1. 4 minus 5 minus 1. Same method. I'm going to get y coordinate y plus minus 8 or minus 8 plus y. We have to get minus 8 plus y. Then it is easy. Minus 8 plus y equal 6. 6. That means the midpoint coordinates over 2. Then cross multiplication 12 equal minus 8 plus y. Minus 8 get into this direction. Then it is plus 8. 12 plus 8, 20. 20 equal y. Then f point x coordinate minus 1, e point y coordinate plus 20. Okay. That's the maximum advanced question in exam. The different applications questions come in that we can discuss in the end of the lesson. Give me a second. Okay, now okay, right? Good. Okay, what I told, uh, ratio point coordinates. Okay, now we have straight line AB. AB is a straight line. If I cut into two identical parts, the cutting point we called as a midpoint. 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 Okay, now if you cut this straight line, now AC part, if you cut into again two identical parts, and AB, CB part, if you cut into again identical parts, then what happened? The same AB straight line convert into four identical parts now. It has four identical parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, understand? On this straight line, if you got the midpoint we called as 2 to 2, that means 2 into 2 ratio point. 2 into 2 ratio mean again 1 to 1. Okay, that's why we call, now see, 2 parts and 2 parts. Okay, that's why we call that 2 to 2 ratio point. This is a midpoint. Okay, now if you got this first cutting point, that we called as special name, see, 1 and 3 parts, that we called as 1 to 3 point, 1 to 3 ratio point, 1 to 2 ratio point, 1 to 3 ratio point, 1 to 3 ratio point. Okay, then this is 1 to 1 point, 1 to 1 point, this is the midpoint. Okay, if you got this point, 3 parts and 1 part, clear? That point we called as third cutting point, that we called as 3 to 1 ratio cutting point. 3 to 1 ratio cutting point or point. 3 to 1 ratio point. Okay, that's the story. Clear? The first cutting point is a 1 to 3 ratio. That's why the first point, no, 1 and 3, 1 to 3 ratio point. The third one is a 3 to 3 pass and again 1. Hari? Okay. I'll give you one question, that enough for this part. Okay, think it is P and Q. P and Q. It's 2 and 8, 9, 50. Okay. Can you calculate? Think the R is a midpoint. R is a midpoint. First question, calculate the midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates. Calculate the midpoint coordinates. Second part, calculate 1 to 3 ratio point coordinates. Final one, calculate 3 to 1 ratio point coordinates. Okay, quickly calculate. Okay, what's the midpoint coordinates? 1 to 3 point coordinates and 3 to 1 ratio point coordinates. Okay, send your answers. Tanya? Okay, first get the midpoint coordinates. How to get midpoint coordinates? 9 plus 2, x2 mark x1 plus x2. 9 plus 2, it is 5.5. 9 plus 2, 11. 11 divided by 2, it is 5.5. 8 plus 15 means 23. 23 divided by 2, 11.5. 11.5 is the midpoint coordinates. 5.5 comma, sorry, not plus. 5.5 comma 11.5. That's the midpoint coordinates. Okay, what's the meaning of, what's the value of 1 to 3 ratio point? 1 to 3 ratio point means P, the midpoint between PR. The midpoint between PR. Okay, now you can get the 5.5 plus 2, it is 7.5. 7.5 divided by 2, 3.75. 3.75 comma 11.5 8. 11.5 plus 8. 11 plus 8 19. 19.5. 19.5 divided by 2, 9.75. 9.75. Okay, they are the coordinates. Okay, if you got the 1 to 3 ratio point, 1 to 3 ratio point mean the ratio between R, sorry, the midpoint between R and Q. The ratio between R and Q. Okay, how to get the 9 plus 5? 9 plus 5.5. 9 plus 5, 14. 14.5. 14.5 divided by 2. 7.25. Comma 11.5 plus 15. 11.5 plus 15. 15 plus 11, 30. 26. 26.5 divided by 2. 13.25. 13.25. Okay, they are the answers. This is the answer for first question. This is the answer for second question. This is the answer for third question. Okay, if you have any doubt up to this level, up to this point, you can ask. Okay. Everything okay up to now? Okay? Amina? Okay. Hi. Okay, that third part is completed. Third subtopic is completed. Third subtopic complete. Okay, let's move into our most important part, the equation of straight line. Our fourth subtopic. Equation of straight line. straight line. Equation of straight line. Equation. Okay, what is a common equation of the straight line? If you got any straight line, what is a common equation? Common equation of any straight line? What is this? Very good. What is the equation? Y equal mx plus c is the common equation. Y equal mx plus c is the common equation of any type of straight line. Okay, what is the meaning of y first? Okay, remember y mean y variable characteristic. X and y always. X mean x variable. They are variables. Point to point, these values are changing. X and y values are changing. X and y values are changing. Okay, I will show you. Okay, you should have very practical and full idea about equations. Otherwise, you can't do calculation in Excel. Okay, see this. Okay, that's a Cartesian plane that you already know. Okay, this is a y-axis. This is a x-axis. Y-axis and x-axis. Okay, if you got straight line, A, B. Okay, now it is a straight line. Straight line. Straight line. No, think it is this side. For easy understand. Now this is a straight line. A and B. AB is a straight line. Okay. Now, if you got y coordinates, you can see y coordinates, y coordinates always changing, right? That's why we call the y is a variable. Y is a variable that is changing point to point. The y coordinate is changing. Y coordinate is changing. If you got x coordinate, see, x coordinate also a variable. Variable mean point to point, they are changing. Okay, now x and y are variable characteristic or variable factors. X and y variable factors. Understood? X and y variable factors. But what is the meaning of this m? What's the name of the m? What's the name of the m? What's the name of the m? Samya? What's the name of the m? Rehlan, what's the meaning of them? What's the name? Yes, m mean gradient. Yes, all are correct. M is gradient. Okay, first of all, you should know what is the meaning of this gradient. What is the meaning of the gradient first? What's the meaning of the gradient? Okay, really understand. And M is gradient. What is the name of C? What is the name of C? C intercept. Very good. Okay, I will explain one by one. Now you already know x and y variables. They are varying. Point to point, x and y coordinates are changing. Okay, x and y coordinates are changing. They are variable. They are variable. But this m and c, they are constant. If you got straight line, it's a one value, m and c. M mean gradient, C mean intercept. Intercept. They are the name. Gradient, intercept. Gradient, gradient, intercept. Intercept. Gradient, intercept. Hurry. Gradient, intercept. Okay, now what is the meaning of the gradient? Okay, remember the gradient mean the angle, the tan angle mainly. Up you know tangent killer, we call that as tangent. Okay, the tan angle, tan theta of with positive side x-axis positive direction. Okay, what's the meaning? Up make a slope that we call as slope as well. The slope or positive the tan angle with x-axis positive direction. Okay, what's the meaning of x-axis positive direction? This is x-axis horizontal one. X-axis, this is a 0. This is a positive direction. This is a negative direction. Then what is the meaning of gradient? The gradient means the angle between the angle with x-axis positive direction, but this angle tan value. Okay, clearly remember the tangents tan theta with x-axis positive direction. If you can't remember, please note down. The gradient mean tan theta with positive side x-axis, the tan angle with x-axis positive direction. What's the positive direction mean? Right side, left side negative. Okay, then this theta is the gradient of this straight line. Understood? Okay. Now what is the intercept? What's the intercept mean? Very good. Intercept mean always y-axis cutting point. This is the intercept. This is the intercept. Intercept. Always y-axis cutting point fixed value that we called as the intercept. Intercept. Now let's take this type Cartesian plane. X and y. Now this is the A and this is a B. A point coordinate 0, 0. Think B point coordinates plus 4, 3, plus 3. Okay. Now what's the meaning of the gradient? Then what is the meaning of gradient? The definition, the tan angle with which direction? Rehlan, which direction? X-axis positive direction. Tell me again. The tan angle with x-axis positive direction. The tan angle with x-axis positive direction. Okay, now this is the x-axis positive direction. This angle is the gradient, right? Okay, if you got the gradient, tan theta equal opposite over adjacent. Tan theta equal opposite over adjacent. Then what is the opposite side? This is opposite side. May opposite take? Then opposite side, how about the opposite length? According to this diagram, it is 3. 3 divided by adjacent side. Adjacent side, it's 4. 0 to 4, it's 4. Then it is tan theta 3 over 4. Then gradient also remember 3 over 4. Because tan theta and gradient, then it is gradient equal 3 over 4. Sorry, 3 over 4. Okay. Any doubt? Any doubt? Tanya understood? Amina? Okay. Now this is the gradient. Okay, what's the meaning of the gradient? The gradient is the angle, tan angle with x-axis positive direction. But it is very complex. No, every straight lines you have to draw on a Cartesian plane and have to calculate the tan angle. It's very difficult. It's very hard work. Okay, therefore we can get relationship. We can get relationship. Okay, this is the relationship. This is a relationship. Okay, now gradient equal m equal, according to this diagram, opposite over adjacent, right? Gradient equal, clearly understand this part. M equal opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. If I told opposite mean this length, this yellow color length is opposite. Now we can get the opposite magnitude or opposite distance by 3 minus 0. It's 3, no? 3 name. That we can get by 3 minus 0. That means 3 is a y2. y2 minus y1. The same method. y2 minus y1, it is 3 minus 0. It's 3. Okay. How to get adjacent side? Adjacent side, we can get its 4. Then 4 minus 0. 4 minus 0 means x1 minus, sorry, x2 minus x1. Now we have very simple equation for gradient y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. How to get this equation? According to this basic tangent method. Clear? Okay, if you don't have idea, please note down. If you know everything this equation, don't need. That's only practice. Okay. Okay. Now, first question. First question. Okay, we have equation. We have straight line. This is a straight line. A and B. A coordinates 6 comma minus 2. B coordinates 8 comma 6. Okay, can you calculate the gradient? Quickly calculate the gradient. Sarmya, quickly calculate the gradient of this. Complete. The gradient of this straight line. Good. How to get this? Y2 minus Y1. Same as previous question. X2 minus X1. That's all. Y2 minus Y1. What's the value? Y2 minus Y1. 6 minus minus 2. 6 minus minus 2. Divide by X2 minus X1. 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6. Always remember y coordinates difference divide by x coordinate, not x divide by y. That's wrong. Y coordinate difference by x coordinate. 6 minus minus 2, it is plus 8. 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6, 2. The value 4. The gradient 4. 4 is the gradient. 4. Okay. Now, any straight line, you can calculate the gradient. What is the method? Y coordinate difference divided by x coordinate difference. Y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Clear? Yes. Hi. Okay. Now, the gradient okay. Gradient okay. No? Gradient okay. Now, how to calculate the intercept? Now, how to calculate the intercept? Intercept calculation very simple. See, y equal, what is the common equation? Y equal mx plus c is the common equation. Y equal mx plus c is the same common equation. For this equation, you can substitute, you can select one point on the straight line. Now, gradient you already know it's 4, gradient 4. No need to think, gradient 4. Now, you can select any point A or B. Now, I think I select B point. Okay, B point, selected point y coordinate, substitute to y. Selected point x coordinate, substitute to x plus c. Now you can isolate the c. Then 6 equal 4 into 8, 32. 32 plus c. Now c equal, what's the c? Minus 32, no? 6 minus 32. 6 minus 32. 20 minus 20 here. Minus 26. Minus 26. Minus 26 is the intercept. Minus 26 is the intercept. Minus 26 is the intercept. Okay, let's do question. Question එකක් කරමු. Okay, that's a straight line. P and Q. P and Q. P point coordinates are -2, 10. Q point coordinates are -8, -2. Okay, my questions, first calculate the M, that means gradient of the straight line. Gradient of the straight line M. Next, calculate the intercept of the straight line. Finally, calculate the, write down the equation of the straight line. Okay. Get only 2 minutes. Okay, done. Okay, good. Tanya, Sabia, complete. Time over. Okay, how to calculate? Okay, let's do one by one. First, how to calculate the gradient? Gradient equal m equal y2 minus y1 divide by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 minus 2 minus 10 divide by x2 minus x1 minus 8 minus 2. Minus 2 minus 12 mean, sorry, minus 2 minus 10 mean minus 12. Divide by minus 8 minus 2, it is minus 10. Minus 10. Okay. Then minus minus cancel because dividing. Then 1.2 is the gradient. Kabir, how to get 2? How you got 2? It's 2 minus 2 minus 10 minus 8. Yes, sorry. Minus 8 minus 2. Sorry. My mistake. Minus 8 minus 2. Minus 2 minus 10 minus 12. Divide by minus 8 minus 2 minus 6. Good. Then minus cancel out. 12 over 6 is 2. Positive 2. M equal positive 2. Yes, Joel, it's 2. It's 2. Okay, second one, you can calculate the intercept. How to calculate intercept? Y equal mx plus c is the mx plus c is the equation. Okay, you can select any point. Better to select p point because only one minus value. Okay, any point you can select on same straight line. Okay, y value 10. M2 x value minus 2 plus c. 10 equal 2 into 2 4 minus 4 plus c. Then what is a c? It is 14 plus 14. That's a c equal plus 14. C equal plus 40. Okay, now you already know 2, gradient and intercept. Now you can write the equation y equal m2x plus 14. Okay, this is the equation of the given straight line. This is the equation of the given straight line. Okay, initially only given p and q coordinate. Finally we have found the equation. Okay, that was the today target. Okay, now we have fulfilled our today target. We have completed today target. Okay, then next day, that means Sunday, we're starting from couple of straight lines. Finally, we can go to the quadratic functions A to Z. Like today actually 50% of lesson completed now. 50% of lesson completed. We have completed the equations of the straight line as well. 50% completed. Quadratic function, very simple part, very small part, and couple of straight line also simple part. Okay, any doubt up to now? Please go through them and complete every work up to now, every practice, and any doubt points. Please clear and please practice again and again up to now, up to this point, and ready for the next day lesson. Okay, within 2.5 hours, we have discussed 50% of coordinate geometry lesson. Another, if you got another 2.5 hours, you can complete 100% A to Z coordinate geometry. Sunday, tomorrow I hope to start magnetic fields. Most important lesson of the electricity lesson, magnetic field. Fleming's left hand, right hand, left hand law, how to use and how to practice this, everything, how to apply to a questions, everything we can discuss in tomorrow. Okay, that's all for today. Any doubt? Any doubt? No. If don't have any doubt, let's meet tomorrow. Goodbye. Good night.